force.
So takes away that
As you wish.
towards top, but I don't think there's anything they can do to stop 33. He's already got the tower.
Here's a yarn arm for you.
That'll allow him to take out
Batten the hatches. Full sail ahead.
Did he just die instantly?
Yeah, bottom is careful. I think
You don't have the sand. So you say.
Yeah, but I meant the old hammer.
the sanity.
1200.
Yeah, we got double hammers, right?
Aye. Look sharp. Of course.
Yeah,
Making quick work of the
buoyed up.
continuum vault.
I think this group might potentially push the pace to a point where the audience Sven will not feel comfortable at all with this game.
Fair enough.
Do you think Collapse should be doing a little bit more with the meteor hammer?
All these fancy knights and scary monsters. What they got that I ain't got? Nothing. That's what.
I changed
You gotta
tack.
get the storm first,
Focus.
I think. Fada is doing a very good job at defending it though.
Right.
Which dragging the creep wave away. But obviously has the ward in the next assassin, so he knows not to come forward. But does it anyway, because he's a Giga Chat.
By your
Goes
compass.
into the trees and now pops that clarity. Mira, though, crossing the lane line. And, well, Fada goes back towards the top end of the lane where now, oh, he gets the Nightmare onto this OD. Impale, as well as the Mana Burn. So now out of mana, but it won't matter. Collapse can't get anything from that. He's
Set
trying
my
to maybe
jib.
line up and hit this Bane. Instead throws the Meteor Hammer back onto the tower as well as the Creep Wave.
Yeah, and now the ward position was given away by the tower. Such an ace
Full sail
sometimes.
ahead.
Converge on the mid tower. Honestly,
And then what
Before you go,
A new
remember,
force.
this villain is not your friend. Sure, does he look
I
friendly?
changed tack.
Does he make you want to say, hey, haven't we met somewhere before? Sure, but listen, hero, do not
Fair enough.
say that.
the jungle and
I need you to go in there, start firing spells, start stabbing, whatever you've got. Do not let the
By your
continuum vault corrupt your mind.
Run you through. Of course.
That's no dispel inside anytime soon.
I hope. Set my jib.
Did that for you.
Splay your blood across the deck. So you say. As you wish.
I was watching this thing you're fighting spar earlier. It's got good reflexes. Positive attitude. It came to win. I like its chances.
Full sail ahead.
Not easily the age is unblocked anyway by Fata.
I'll drag your bleeding head along. Rock and
Oh, what? What? What?
Winning this game would mean they're the first team to win 2 games in a series.
set my jib. A new force.
I will bury.
This'll tread your sail. It's all time. As you wish.
Just saying a decal out.
Aye. By your
What?
Great work!
Oh
Remember,
my.
you're only as great as the last magnificent being that you've killed.
Now got that level 6, so they have the Demonic Purge. Yatoro, he is not feeling too strong or too comfortable in this game, right?
Look at the spiders coming and just blocking the camps. Oh, he lost his orchid.
It's a big timing. To end up being missed though.
Fair enough.
Minutes.
think that would be better.
Yeah. That's It could have been a dead Ember or dead Oni right there.
I changed tags.
The running you does stop for a little bit, for a minute and a half at least.
Well, it doesn't have to stop, but perhaps less.
I know you
I'll take it.
see me as Hagernim the all-powerful, so this really hurts to pull back the curtain, but
3-3s.
with these other backwater agonyms farting around our reality, I feel as if I'm only a fraction of my former self. A shadow of my former self. A fraction of a shadow. I'm a pile of magic garbage. I don't like you to see me like this. Alas, I am incapable of rescuing them from the continuing vault myself.
Owie.
So you
You're
say.
probably wondering if that unkillable primal beast is still prowling the depths of the Continuum Vault, hungry only for flesh and bone. I mean, that's what I'd be wondering about if I were in your shoes.
There.
I sense a next patch.
What?
Spider now no longer block camp.
Does he have
I
Rapier?
mean, there is a lot of helpful stuff in this owner's manual. How to turn the continuum device on, how to alter space-time
Fair enough.
properly, how to avoid filling your reality with inferior versions of yourself from backwater alternate
I changed
dimensions.
Depot number 3 reporting.
Daedalus.
House.
Wish I'd read this thing before I started pushing all the buttons.
That is true. Luckily, they're not trapdoor spiders.
Dude.
4 heroes bottom for Team Spirit.
Let's stop talking about spiders.
It's a brute in the
talk
game.
about-
I don't know if that's possible.
Of course.
Yeah, but she doesn't. Honestly, Brood looks like a very acceptable.
I feel like that would be
really
good.
spider.
By your compass.
I don't know.
Especially with the set. I agree with you. Look at the set.
Set my jib.
Very Guardian vibes from Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't look like a very scary spider, right?
Depends what your definition of scary is. Things that can kill me, they're definitely scary. Yatoro up in the top lane. He's got that Mask of Madness as well as the Echo Saber closing in on this Blink Dagger, but does go to use that God Strength. So we'll have to wait for that to be off cooldown, but he should be able to farm the Blink Dagger while he's got the God Strength up, and that'll give him the opportunity to maybe make a move with the next one. Toronto, Tokyo.
As you wish.
9 on this Razor.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what you've got.
I go.
This is kind of what happens when you put it against Razor. It's such a tough.
Full sail ahead. I grow stronger. Attack.
Oh! That hurts me a lot.
Three sitting on the
A new pause.
this Sven. Sven, he does pick up the Blink Dagger.
So you say. By your compass. Of course.
You're just looking around and trying to see
I'm not ready. I change tack. As you wish.
Razor does have his BKB going to the refresher now. Standard.
Fair enough.
That really hurts.
Full sail ahead.
Further increase.
To be fair, also he's a higher level than
Oh, thank the stars for whatever you're compensating for with all of this bloodthirst. Carry on.
Probably like 3 10 or so.
want
I
as
go.
many damage as I can.
Well, now we can.
Depot number 3 reporting.
You're getting taken out by 33, now dominating.
A rising tide.
That's always a good one.
Set my jib.
You fan of
Like, I have
Yeah.
8
Mostly for
is
the
good
region.
now.
Usually forget to use this active.
A new course.
Ain't the first hole I've
I
crawled out
changed
of.
Here, but
tacks.
like the neutral item looks so insignificant. Like the
Hie
item
thee
is so
to
much
battle.
smaller. I think they should make it bigger.
Where, on the HUD or? in the
Wombat, wombat.
There's so much space right
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
I guess. You can always make it a square that takes up the fill on from the corners right there to the TP.
Bro,
Yeah,
you get
exactly.
2 battle fury.
Full sail
So
ahead.
small that you just
Knuckle
think,
down.
You know, it's just a passive item. But it's actually an
a
active
rush.
item. Yeah, and it's
Wow.
pretty free.
Of course.
They can't fight it all on spirit right now. It's a problem. Like, Ember has no organ counter. Me has no organ
So you
counter.
say.
Even Sven's not making me yet. Like, they need so many items. Like,
By your
I
compass.
don't have to get them.
Fair enough.
God!
Yeah, I'm scared of spirit because they have stuns, but they don't have.
Not yet. Splay your blood across the deck.
Mono Tokyo. So that is jump this triangle.
Yeah.
I go. Set my jib.
I like
Find their time as much as they can.
help
Here comes a massive TPs over bottom. They got speed available there.
As you wish. I change tacks.
Nothing to stop that. Mira now on the run for the rest of the team too with Blink Dagger.
I go.
Fire Blast gets the kill for a second, so Yashiro tries to push bottom tier.
Fair enough. By your compass. Full sail ahead. This'll trim the sail.
All over really, and they just
Of course.
really hard for Spirit to enact any plan.
A new force.
They really need that BKB on the spend, but even then, it's still it's screwed.
So you say.
For except past the field,
It's looking it's no time yet. Set my jib. As you wish. I.
Especially with BKBs, they don't really feel right?
A new force.
If I had children, I'd want them to be just like you guys. Well, okay, I do actually have children.
Full sail ahead.
God, I wonder what
So you
they're
say.
offering.
Oh, I'm just gonna get a heart.
Down the steps and maybe cut
That
off
way I
Spirit's
have
escape.
Some
Again,
Set.
33,
Splurging, I see.
up.
Ain't the first hole I've crawled out of.
Brood Mother, and that will be popped as they start to retreat. They only lose the Venge, but they
Yeah,
do
battle fury.
push Spirit to the brink in this bottom tier 2.
yeah.
Actually-
which is exactly how they need to play.
I'm gonna get
I-
AC.
Because like, in a full-blown fight, if anything happens, you just get blown out. So
As you
play with
wish.
the Ember getting 2 shackles.
Let's get AC.
Or 2 steering chains rather, and then if the root doesn't BKB that's done, he's just dead. He's gonna go on strength, he's gonna kill. So, very necessary BKB.
Of course.
And this trades up the continuum vault.
The pressure's still on. 6k down.
Bluer.
I change tack.
Redder.
They only stop.
Honestly, I find Aura's divisive. I know thy grand scepter bestows one upon the holder, but, you know, I never signed off on that.
By your compass.
Toronto, Tokyo.
I go.
Pretty much already. No, once that control is there, there's nothing we can do without it.
Set my jib. I change tacks.
Not bad, bro.
whoever's in charge of mopping up the blood in the Continuum Vault really has his work cut out for him.
Their timings.
Let's see. So Sven definitely needs to be so far away from the goal. Wow.
By your
BKB,
compass.
That's step one. But even then, Razor can just freely link him with a double link. Now he's the refresher op already.
Full sail ahead.
He is so massive. Yeah, I don't know. They have to like somehow force the BKBs of Tundra
So you say.
by poking
I'm gonna be
the
rich! Rich!
with the Ember and then find a good reinitiation after the BKBs are used. I don't see how they win a team fight with all resources available on both sides. Just not happening. Or maybe like a good bait, you know, and then get a defensive Astral going, something like that. Because they do have two very strong defensive supports. Slash
I.
Sven going for the
This
nade.
next room, full of guys that want to kill you. But here's the catch. You are going to kill them first. Boom! Viola! Or voila! Depending.
I go.
He's gonna build right back in.
As you wish. Full sail ahead.
Buying time.
My sails fill. Keel haul the lot of 'em.
And yeah, this is the story of the game. How do you leave base now, as Spirit? 10k behind? You can't even split.
Fair enough.
Because they have small feet Spirit. It's a very
Of course.
sorry for Spirit to win. So hold on.
Set my jib.
Well, guys,
By your compass.
but
Trying to escape. Blink available again.
A new course. So you say. Of course.
This position, man.
damn. Delays 1.6,
A new
but
course.
then the delays like takes forever.
Say so.
I think
I
only
go.
one game to turn with his Spirit doing this.
Full sail ahead. Set my jib.
Really hurt, bro.
Spirit playing.
There we go.
No
Now
one
we
can
got
cast a
it.
boom
Buoyed
of
up.
infernal hellfire that will just insta-kill everything inside of the Continuum Vault, right? Look, get all of the Aghanims back and I'll show you. You don't have to go through all of this.
Go down. They didn't really address the brute too much. 5 minutes smoke here trying to make something happen. That was BKB Razor though. Ah.
So
Aye.
the searing chains look for the
Let's get this over with. I ain't leaving any candy.
Assault cuirass.
Here on Tamira already. Look for the remnant now. They'll try to chase. They've got the Wraith King goes into the Vendetta. And well, they don't hit him with the dust.
As you wish.
The Fiend's Grip on Yatro. They get the kill there. Skinner cuts him down from half health. They pop the Lincolns on the Emperor while they're going in on him. Poking in the base. Toronto Tokyo trying to fight.
So you
They
say.
They end up losing Fana. The magic missile comes through, but it's not even going to be needed with the damage coming in from Skinner. Down goes Mira. And while the only one left alive for
By
now is
your
Collapse,
compass.
but once he gets out of this imprisonment, he'll be prisoned in a respawn time. Being expended by Team
Fair
I
enough.
like your chances of beating this kill-crazy monster. Even though no other hero ever has. I mean, this thing is unstoppable.
I changed
But
tactics.
you've got something they didn't have.
Oh gosh,
Me,
Toronto,
giving you
Tokyo.
confidence.
That
By your compass.
Ah.
they still have Sven up in 10 seconds.
I change tack. You don't have the size. So you say. Full sail ahead. Well, that was a whale. Batten the hatches. Aye. Set my jib. you wish.
Again.
Fair enough. Of course. Good shot.
You can do it! Beat these stupid heroes! I believe in you! I'm still on your side. Just trying to
By your compass.
These heroes are so weak and soft! Look at how soft and weak
Set my
and
chin.
soft they are! Very strong.
Not yet. I go. Fair enough.
Ouch.
Full sail ahead. So you say. As you wish.
Oh, yes! What's my name? What is my name? And you guys did good too.
Yeah.
No, I like the attempt, and yeah, it's not like they're losing map control or anything because of it. So. Lowness
A new course.
V-shape now.
24,000 net worth lead.
Should I
like
get
many
that?
answers here for the side of Team
I
Spirit.
feel like it's better.
Yeah.
Toronto Tokyo trying to take out an Obs. Slide comes in, but skitters through. 2 shots with Koshka. Will double tap.
Yeah, which is also the reason why.
I
They
changed
put
tactics.
a lot of fancy promotional language on the Continuum device packaging. What
Full
it
sail
doesn't
ahead.
say is what's inside is as fragile as a hummingbird's egg. So in your rush to get it out of the box and start altering space and time, if you happen to press any of its myriad buttons just a little bit too hard, it's going to go haywire and start filling your reality with inferior versions of yourself for far-flung universes, each of which diminishes your power exponentially simply by existing. Is that a lot of copy for a modest amount of packaging? Yes. Does it also sound pretty important? Also, yes.
I.
Remember, heroes, the primal force of ancient evil still lurks in the Continuum Vault. I don't think there's any chance you've forgotten that. I like saying primal force of ancient evil. Feels good.
Not getting stopped, and then it just opens up the game for everybody else. He took away a lot of farm from Sven with the Spiderlings blocking those camps. It was almost perfect from Tundra.
Let me tell you what a Continuum device is. Capable of bending space and time, the Continuum device yields unto its owner unlimited power to shape infinite realities. That's from the owner's manual. Ships with an exclusive nylon drawstring pouch, a piece unique, one of one, pouch machine washable, device does not immediately destroy the universe. That's from the box.
Strong backs can't solve.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
No
get
place on the
this.
map.
Yeah, it felt like their entire map was
Fair
taken away
enough.
by the side of Tundra. Now Tundra's up 2-1, so backs against the wall for Team Spirit. Tundra 1 game away from taking it all. Back in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break. See you after.
Sharpen your blades. Prepare your incantations. Keep a firm and wide stance.
Of course. So you say. I go. By your command. I'll strike your bleeding head along. Not yet. No room to swing a cat in this crowd. By your command. So you said. My sails are filled.
This is Picasso. Picasso is the modern way to
Isn't it magical, Papa?
A new course.
it is true real estate ownership. The morning not a resort timeshare.
I.
Find the second home for your
Name's Meepo, Geomancer. Pleased to meet you.
schedule. There's less hassle and expense. This is the modern way to buy a home.
I change tacks.
None of us will have any peace until there are no monsters left in the world.
It's my home. I fight.
Are you ready for
Of course.
Hurry, bruh, hurry.
As you wish.
They've got to get the mountain drake here if they want to have any chance of beating.
I think we're good enough.
Set my
I
jib.
must say, it's a little more enjoyable rooting for you this time around. Aghanim likes an underdog. Now, boys, no need to fight. But if you want to fight, as it seems you do, well, then you should.
Full sail ahead.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Isn't it magical, Papa? Isn't it magical, Papa?
It's not tide. A rising tide. I go.
That's one way to do it.
Fair enough. I'm not ready. A new ball. By your compass. Fair enough. Full sail ahead. No room to swing a cat in this crowd. As you wish.
But from the very beginning, I think what it did was it put Team Spirit in a, like we also talked about
Of
this during
course.
the draft. Forced Team Spirit to spend
Isn't it magical, Papa?
I change
forced them to
tacks.
like zeros that I would not have picked if there was no zero. Zeros or not.
I.
I just
I go. I'll drag your bleeding head along.
Part of the meta.
Full sail ahead.
Dude, they not play this game.
They tried the
Holy
light
crap.
in game 1, right? It didn't work.
Holy
Like,
crap.
don't
Set my jib.
Zero. They're not even meta. They haven't been played.
We don't
Keel haul the locomotive. Hook shot. Savagery. Buoyed up.
And all those guys. The hero became so popular, every single team was first phasing it. You just needed to win the lane hard enough versus her. But at the moment, I don't see too many heroes. There's Kunkka and there's Troll. You have to get one of those two.
So you say.
I'm optimistic to see something.
First things first, this fella, don't trust him.
Of course.
Never trusted him. Remember, you work for me.
Yeah, it was around this time last year when we first started seeing Brood coming back
As
into
you
meta in a
wish.
big way, because she did get pretty overbuffed with all the tweaking going on and the Silken Bowler and stuff. But yeah, I mean 33 showing that it can still have a place in this game. We did the Team Spirits draft though. Let's not forget.
Repo number 3
like what I
reporting.
had down on paper, but when we saw it in play, it did
I
seem
changed
like the
tacks.
weaknesses
What
made
you have in
themselves
mind?
very apparent very quickly. How much was this an outplay from Tundra and
I feel
I
fine.
go.
just Team
Don't know
Spirit
what
was
everyone.
a kind of misread on the game?
Okay, so actually, like,
Green
I think
reporting.
one
Fair.
really
Shiny.
big factor in this game was Fata's play on Bane. This game, because like we talked about how the OD is gonna have this fast meteor hammer and take bottom tower and snowball the game and open up the map, kind of so you can kind of mirror the map against the Brood Mother who takes up one part of the area. One part of the
Set
map.
my jib.
Fata was sitting down there at the tier 1 for so long. Keep nightmaring, canceling.
Full
meteor
sail
hammer,
ahead.
Just being really annoying. He also was not really showing, so they couldn't really go on him. And
As
I
you
think this
wish.
was like, so he clearly understands the OD, right?
So you say.
Here we
Oh, this is the
go.
final boss?
Now you go do some hero stuff. You hero the crap out of this situation.
Because when OD can take the tower, he just keeps sitting there. He doesn't.
A new course.
Doesn't do anything, right? He just occupies that lane for so long and takes away that space from his team.
Fair enough.
So yeah, and then later on the Brood came down there, and now it's like impossible to take the tower, and the Brood starts sending stuff at the Ancients, and
Aye.
from there we kind of saw the game play out. It's really like really impressive stuff.
By
from
your
Fata.
compass.
Yeah, he should be MVP in that sequence.
I go. I change tacks. A new course. Aye. And fight straight forward.
Crap, dude.
Sail ahead. I change tacks. By your compass. Fair enough. Set my jib.
Step closer to one of these flimsy clones. Bless your souls.
Maybe you can leave it if you have if they have second pick, so you have the pick straight out.
I go.
Even then, I don't know. If they wanna play that game
I
again.
don't do
That looked disgusting.
No lie, no
Imagine,
lie.
like we talked about it in the break, like the Shadow Demon sitting there on Ancients, and there's like just a swarm of
As
spiders
you
coming.
wish.
They're not after him. They don't care about him. They're just there to block the camps and give full vision of him. He just started hitting one of them. It just looked so depressing to the Shadow Demon. Like, it's way OD. It looks like.
The awesome thing about that as well was that the way he was microing them meant that it
Of
wasn't just like
course.
one big fat blob of spiders like you see in most games, you know. They
Yeah,
were
yeah,
like coming from every damn
So you
direction,
say.
You know? You could see that guy like in a horror movie, you know, when it's like What's that in the distance?
Bye, bye, bye! Treat
Ain't no
yourself!
problem. Some tools and a few strong
Part
backs
of
to
Taras.
solve.
That was genuine horror movie stuff. Like, I hope we don't have any arachnophobes watching this, because
Ain't the first hole I've crawled out of.
That ancient camp at one point had a spider in it, an illusion, and
A new
sentient being.
course.
You know, just like triple.
Depot number
triple
3 reporting.
The worst thing is the moment he clears
Of
all
course.
the
Ain't the
spiders
first
that
hole
he
I've
sees,
crawled
there's
out of.
one like in behind, right behind the trees. Still
What you have in mind?
yeah, insane
Set
stuff
my
coming
jib.
out with 33. And like, what do you do against it either? Once you've got those webs, like you can't de-web the place. There's no feather duster in Dota 2 you can use to get rid of those webs. Once he's been there, he's there. He's got that highway across to get those spiders in. So I don't know what you can do against that, and I don't think he's really figured it out. So we will move
Oh,
on to the
crap.
next
It's the
game.
primal force of
Hopefully
ancient
we get
evil, the primal beast I was telling you about. All right, don't panic. Honestly, he's only got like one move. It's super basic, easily avoidable, and 100% effective, unfortunately.
I think it's better just to ban it.
Stay
out.
together, everyone.
And one more question I want to ask you guys before we get into the next draft is, do you think that Team Spirit are kind of playing Tundra's game here and kind of being forced
Crystallis.
into drafting against them and not for themselves?
Oh, for sure. I completely agree with that. That's what happened to them, at least in this last game. They were just trying to address the problems that Tundra was throwing at them instead of picking their own best heroes and strategies that worked well for them. Truth be told, Misery knows as well, you're always
Fair
trying
enough.
to deal with the enemy heroes and at the same time pick the best stuff that you have, right?
I changed
I don't think they
tacks.
really got the best of both worlds in this last draft. I think they pretty much got what they
Full
thought
sail
would,
ahead.
but truly doesn't. Like this Sven,
What is this?
not
Sand King?
necessarily as strong as
By
he
your
used to be.
compass.
For sure. I mean, the thing is as well, the Broodmother is just very special here in the sense that you
As
kinda
you
have
wish.
to react to it somehow, right?
We're
You
going
cannot just have like
against Sand King, dude.
to somehow be able to clear
So
the
you
spiders.
say.
But that's maybe just it, right? When you think about
Of course.
what does Sven really do to Brood this game? Came to lane, farmed some creeps, then he went jungle, left the tower. Broodmother took the tower.
By your
And then he
compass.
invaded, ran mid, took mid tower. Like, why would you pick Sven, right? Like, if you think about it from that perspective, like,
Set
it
my
actually makes
jib.
no sense. You might have well picked Terrorblade, Peel, or whatever, right? That hero that does the same thing, Luna. It's like,
A new course.
you're
I don't know
anyways
where to
farming
go
jungle.
now from here.
And, yeah, so that, I think maybe it's a misconception that Sven's heroes can't do, right?
A thing that you
Oh,
need
he's
is
gonna rush
Fair
you,
enough.
boys!
I'm not ready. I.
Rocks!
The moment Brood starts controlling the map and taking that tower, eventually what they
Full sail ahead.
what they towards mid lane.
Scatter! Scatter, you morons!
Just need to slow her down.
I changed tacks.
Rocks! Duck!
As you wish.
Watch your heads!
Set my jib.
Farming, but she isn't really that sustained.
Just scale as well as
But that was
you can't weather out this.
Fair enough.
More rocks!
Take it down.
Oh, no!
A new course.
Steel yourselves, heroes!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Okay, so don't have.
He's gonna rush you, boys!
Full sail ahead.
Rocks once more!
By your compass.
Duck!
As you wish. I
Watch
changed
out!
tacks. Of course.
Oh, here he comes!
I lost my stealing.
Oh, I did!
Sense rocks! Run away!
This guy's so fast, bro.
Biceps rocks! Heads up! He's giving you the water! Here comes the business!
Of course.
I think that
Don't know what that is, but... Oh, did we win?
These sort of heroes, these pops, lasers, ODs,
Oh.
Dragon Knights.
Huzzah! You killed, well, chased off and gravely embarrassed the primal
In the
beast!
case of Tundra, we have seen it.
Isn't it magical, Papa?
Wait,
Isn't it
there's
magical,
more!
Papa?
Next game might change value though, because I think Tundra opened last game it was almost pre-planned, this Brood Mother. It came pretty fast and it was
Feeling rad. Let's go do magic. Oh, I changed pumped here.
in that sense that because we haven't seen that much Razor first
Nice,
pick.
but-
Man, what a
If the
fight!
demons of the
I
cataract
was on the
couldn't
edge
see
of my
right
magical
through.
seat for that
This
one.
lot doesn't
I thought
stand a
for sure the
chance.
primal beast had you back there when that one hero screwed up.
Aye.
I mean,
Look.
you know who you are, okay? We all know who you are. We all definitely saw it. You, wow, what a screw up. Anyway, congratulations to the rest of you. Good.
biggest concern about the Razor, though, just going back to that briefly, is that it didn't look like a good Razor game for Tundra, doesn't it?
Yeah, bested. Continue. Boom.
Really care about the Razor as well, but it didn't matter. He still had an amazing game on it.
I won't say that it was a bad Razor game. It wasn't, right? Like it was.
It was still a good Razor game, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it was still all right. There are some perfect Razor games when you have a hero that you can completely dominate, right? Like
Yeah,
eliminate from the
troll.
game, like a troll or something. Yeah, but that last game it wasn't bad at all. It was solid.
Certainly worked out okay for them. So the bans this game, Tundra are going to get rid of the Io and the Mars. Meanwhile, Team Spirit,
What?
they are going to get rid of that Brood Mother, and they, of course,
Right there.
get rid of the Spirit Breaker. And this always feels like, you know, when you're the team who are behind and you feel trapped into banning this Brood
6 dead.
and this Spirit Breaker,
Ah.
because you know the Tundras play it so well, it's a hard position to be in.
So they first picked the Nux to kind of, I think they kind of want to protect themselves against, you know, potential Quap pick, and then they want to pick the Quap on 4 themselves.
Yeah, I think so too. And they're just letting the Bane go through, which most likely will be picked by Team Spirit, right? Like you get
Now-
that Miposhka
yeah.
Bane.
Now I think you should pick Queen of Pain regardless here. I think you should just ignore the fact that they have Nux altogether and just pick the Queen of Pain here, and just play the game, because I think it's, yeah, Nux quote unquote counters Quap, but at the same time, right? It's just a hero in the game. Like Queen of Pain is so powerful these days. You're gonna go to the Silence build, the Shard. Okay, well,
They go with the same thing. Like
Alright.
this is what they opened up. What, in the second game, first one? Not sure. First one, I think. They opened up with the Bane Razor. Worked out well for them, but it's so obvious what's going to happen. Like Nyx Assassin,
right.
and Queen. You can
Now
see
you
it
have
from a
the
mile
Quap
away.
against Razor matchup as well, right? So it feels like I think Tundra got the better of this, but at the same time, like Razor Bane is still a really strong hero, so it's not the end of the world. But you would argue that Tundra definitely like maybe has the advantage in terms of dictating the draft. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I agree as well. They ban out the puck to, yeah, perhaps this Razor can be on the safe lane as well on the off lane, right? So you protect the Queen of Pain a little bit better. It's not the worst matchup for her, but the catch is always a bit tricky. I wonder if they'll ban out more Collapses heroes, like the Night Stalker that we've seen before.
You know what?
OD probably not necessary.
I've been thinking, and I think Tundra should forfeit right now, because you don't want to be the team that beat Team Spirit in a best of 5, the first team to beat them since TI playoffs, but yet you never made it to TI. So if they beat Team Spirit now, they'll never know what could have been, and it'll always be hanging over them. That one TI they didn't qualify for, and they were looking very, very good at. They never got there, and they who knows what could have happened. I'm just saying, do you want that hanging over your head the rest of your life?
No, Matt. There's some money on the line, you know. Like if you win the tournament, it's. I don't think they're thinking about that, but sure. Sounds interesting.
Just saying, guys. Just saying.
At the same time, they ban out the Night Stalker, and I assume.
Oof, do you need to ban Lycan now when you're Spirit? You have the Bane Razor one more time, right? It's kind of like.
Yeah.
It's kind of what Tundra was fishing for earlier when they picked Lycan. So maybe you have to really consider like Visage, Lycan, and those two heroes particularly are also heroes that can be enabled by nukes in the lane by just playing on the side and pulling some waves.
Do you think in the Lycan game, if Team Spirit did not have a Night Stalker, it would have been much harder for them? Because they still kind of dominated, right?
Well, not necessarily, but it's still like just a thing about the draft, right? And I do think that, what was that game again? They had
Bloodseeker on the side of Tundra.
So that was the Razor mid and
thanks to
Razor
doing
mid,
Buckley.
Morphling safe lane,
right.
Night Stalker off. Tundra had they had what, Bane and 3 supports on Team Spirit.
Well, I mean,
So
some other stuff
very
that
similar
happened that game was, yeah. I mean, Night Stalker like killed Roshan, right? So you know, I think it's hard to say it would have been that different, but it's still something to consider in the draft, because it does kind of kill Lycan's game.
Gotta think about it. If you're gonna go in that direction, you gotta make sure you cover your bases. That's for sure.
They're spending
but also
so much
makes it
time.
kind of obvious what you're heading towards.
Timbersaw ban.
What are they planning, Team Spirit? I mean, maybe the DK again is what they're looking at.
Possible, right?
Yeah,
because
maybe.
that's what they did. They did pick it versus Queen of Pain before, and we discussed this in depth earlier too. If you have Nyx Assassin and Queen of Pain, it's kind of hard to find the right way of dealing with her in the laning stage, at least. If you're planning to have Razor on that side lane with Bane, which I think works usually very well, then you can put the DK on the mid lane versus the Quab.
Kunkka ban.
Oh,
That is also kind of like a indicator of Timbersaw ban, right? That makes sense by Tundra.
I haven't seen the Kunkka carry in a while, or mid lane. Like, it was popular just like, what, 5 days ago or something? Fell out of favor a little bit.
Yeah, it really dropped out the window, didn't it? I do remember that being quite the pickup, quite the meta. But now it's gone.
Terrorblade ban. So they're gonna want Luna maybe?
It's also good versus Razor, right? Like, TB versus Razor is pretty solid, so
Yeah, okay.
they banned that out. They get the Treant, and it looks like a repeat of that game 1. By the way, Kunkka that you mentioned, isn't it also good versus Lycan? So
Yeah, it could
maybe,
be. Now they pick Treant though. I think Treant is pretty good against Lycan, right? We also discussed that before. So it is kind of prematurely... You're prematurely thinking about it, at least, when you pick Treant here, I think.
So Tree obviously gives you a lot of tower defense, bit of healing across the map. Looks like it's going to be a pos 4 Treant this time around. Does that mean we're going to see some Meteor Hammer shenanigans?
it was position 4 in that last game too. Poshka pretty much always plays Bane, yeah, and
yes,
then
he does.
you have. I think he didn't go for Meteor Hammer, but something like a Blink and
That was Fata.
healing.
He actually went Meteor Hammer that game. Fata went Arcane Boots Blink in the other game.
Oh yeah. You're right.
But this looks pretty solid from Team Spirit, right?
Once again,
Yeah.
the lanes,
I want to get
the lanes at least for them,
maybe
look
Drow.
invincible at this point.
Also
Tuz.
because
Have these heroes.
I like Tuz.
We haven't seen the Sandra cheese
Ogre
yet.
maybe?
Still to be discovered.
We're gonna see some Death Prophet 5.
I would like Puck.
Could be, actually.
Puck.
Yeah, I haven't seen that as well. It was pretty damn popular for a long time, and then a couple of nerfs happened to that Prophet. It fell out of favor. She used to go what Tranquil, Solar Crest, something like that on that 5 position.
Yeah.
So hard to draft against this stuff too, right? You don't really know. Like I think, like you said, I think it is probably gonna be this EP5, but what if it's some Queen of Pain carry and or like EP carry and like this
I mean, it's
tempo is so
possible, right?
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about some like Snowball, that Prophet safe lane, Beastmaster off lane,
Good lord.
and then you just go and
Just
destroy them
run
early
at
on.
them. Just
Yeah.
take them out of this tournament in style. I don't know.
That's an interesting one because like before we assumed that teams don't want to pick Ember into Nyx Assassin co-op because of that Nyx Assassin, and we have seen actually, I believe it was Taiga playing Nyx Assassin just constantly. You find the Ember farming, you Carapace, Queen of Pain follows up, Ember is dead. It's just these 2 heroes are needed to constantly destroy his game. But it is a decent laner versus co-op.
Again with the
Yeah,
Ember.
I mean, I think you cannot think about nukes this way, right? Then you can't pick any heroes. So I think it overall looks like a good Ember game. You can put it mid against co-op, he's gonna do well. He can also help against the Beastmaster push potentially.
Actually,
when that hits, right?
let's
Get
see.
the safe in out. And I think maybe Toronto Tokyo wants to redeem himself from last game. So Wraith King ban.
Wraith King and PA on the other side. So we're looking for 2 carries, I suppose. Which is not 100% for Tundra, it never truly is. But, so they're expecting Team Spirit to put Razor on the offlane?
Do you think?
Is that what's
Yeah,
up?
maybe. Has he ever?
I mean, with
has
the
Collapse
bans,
played
yeah.
the Razor recently? I don't recall.
I don't think I've seen it from him. I've
Okay.
seen the Razor on mid lane from them and on the safe lane. I don't think I've seen it on the off lane.
I don't recall. I can check though.
I feel like Razor 3 and safe lane should be pretty strong against Beasts. You can kind of snipe the boars with Razor Q, right? But I guess they're just keeping it completely open.
So we get
Okay,
the bans out. That'll
They
be
ban out the Weaver carry, right? It's something that works well versus the Razor. So they get it out of the way. And I feel from Team Spirit's bans that this Razor should be on safe lane, but let's see. Tundra, will they pick a carry? What do you think, Nomad?
Yeah.
Give me a percentage. Is it a carry last pick?
Yeah, it's pretty high. I'm going 85% carry.
I would agree. I don't really see Skeeter playing either of these heroes.
And they'll go for the Luna. There it is for Tundra, coming out with the Luna last pick. Does it look like a good Luna game?
It's overall their draft now makes a lot of sense, right? And they have a lot of utility, a lot of buffs for the Luna. They can snowball early on, but Luna into Razor can be scary. If Team Spirit plays a bit faster, if Razor is ahead, until Luna gets that pike and I don't know, Daedalus with the shard, just stay far, and Tidehunter into Luna as well. Or is this Tidehunter on Beastmaster lane and then Razor versus Luna? I wonder.
Yeah, they might try and run it that way, mightn't they? That might make a little bit more sense, but...
Well, it's like a Bane Tide lane. That's pretty strong, even into Luna, I would say. I think they don't need to do it. They could do it though, but I think it's less likely maybe. I like how they responded to the moment they picked Treant. They just went for Death Prophet, Beastmaster, Luna. You know, make sure that we can actually take some towers this game. Don't underestimate this Treant heal towers.
Yeah, Yep, it can be a bit of a brick wall, can't it? You know, when you're trying to find your momentum or you're trying to do some chip damage, it just keeps getting killed out. It's an easy way to get some objectives. But guys, what are we thinking for this game?
Control the map, but yeah, I think there were ways to prevent that game for sure.
Oh no.
That feels bad, man.
I don't know if J4 had detection either. It didn't look like he did. Unfortunately, got Sakuchi off right after the Nightmare, so it made their setup just a little bit harder.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Here's where I'd really like to see Gork keep top laning with the TB illusions, force someone to respond, and then you can take these fights around the Brood in the mid or on the triangle.
A dominating performance.
Excalibur!
Now they're gonna get the D ward from the kill earlier. Extra value.
You're like, bring me a spider.
Oh, and the ward.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
We were different as day and night.
Well, they see him now, yeah.
Ulti's about to be out.
Oh, nice escape. Smart to TP there.
Yeah. A lot of time wasted during that NSL too. They get one kill out of it. They defend their ward and their triangle. Probably necessary. The net worth lead has stagnated a little bit, so there's some good stuff happening for Ghost Frogs in that aspect, but their Storm is just super far behind, and it's just really hard for him to engage into Nyx and this Quap Orchid. Hard for him to play aggressive.
That's very reminiscent of game 1, or or game 2, sorry, where Gorksy, you know, just does good in his lane in this case, but then just like sits back and hits the hard camp.
Bradrick's also going in Orchid, so they're gonna double up.
Dire are scanning.
Basically saying, Storm, you're never getting to BKB this game. I actually think there's a world where you're snowballing this game so much, and this tier 2 died top so easily. Dire also has no out spam. I almost feel like you just go Hood or even Crimson on Brood, just go high ground in like 15-20 minutes in this game. I mean, what's stopping?
Because they can't clear creep waves, right? And they can't clear spiders.
Who's gonna go defend the tier 3 in this game?
It's gonna have to be Storm balling in and balling out. It's like the only way.
He's gonna get Nyx stunned or double Orchid. I mean, you could even go high ground with the Sages at a certain point, to be honest. Like, Dire's lineup cannot deal with the 5-man push right now with the Brood, the double Orchid. There's a Sunder that comes out.
Yeah, especially because Team Bolt's playing so good. They are executing their draft really well. They look like a team that scrims. That's all I gotta say.
I've been wanting this.
They're doing it. You know, they're playing effective when they're ahead. Like, they definitely are doing a great job.
My timeline snaps.
What about the Drow Shard? That's like one way they can slow things down, the spiders. Multi-shot the creeps, get some AoE. It's not terrible. It's not great, obviously, but you can probably do some good AoE damage. You can probably kill spider clumps with that for sure. I think each hypothermia is like 60 AoE. So if you kill like, you know, hit like 3 spiders with that and they pop, that's enough damage.
I can see it. I mean, you don't really have any other options, so can't hurt. That's why if you go high ground before 20 minutes, that's how you counter shards.
Oh, dude, you're so right, dude.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, but with Aegis, or sorry, Aegis on Quap right now and BKB on the way, if they just buy a little time here, they're going to be just fine. Their net worth is still high. They control a good position of the map. And the AoE farm of Ghost Frogs isn't really going to be that high anyways with the heroes they've got, so should be fine for Team Bald to just play this out for a bit till they get their BKB timings. Oh, the stun!
Radiant's turret has been killed.
Our fates were woven from the first.
All right. Great reaction. Nyx gets the stun off. That buys Weaver time to time lapse. They burn the Aegis. I don't think Team Bald cares about that much at all, to be honest. Fiend's Grip is down. They lose Aegis, but it had less than like 2 minutes left anyways. They lose the Weaver, but a lot of
Radiant's
space.
bottom tower is under attack.
Not too bad.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, we saw the power of the Fiend's Grip, even though it wasn't Aegis. He gets that mana burn. It's an effect people often forget about, but you have a mana burn talent too.
Yeah.
Extra drain.
Once in a while I get it, because it feels better, but generally, I think most people get the other one. But against the Quap, it looks great. Against TB, it looks great. Don't let him sunder, don't let him do other stuff. That sounds like a crossbow.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Ghost Frogs has no chance in a straight 5-on-5 right now. Anytime they get caught like that, just abandon. Try and get the other lanes out, which is not easy to do in this game by any means. Playing a double Orchid and 3 cores, you can all shove the lanes in pretty fast. But this is the early high ground, pre-20 minute, no hypothermia shard for you. Urge was left, Gork was right. But they backed.
They glyphed it. They wanted to glyph to buy time for 20 minutes so that they can defend this, no problem. They know what's important there. Hypothermia timing. No regen for this Terror Blade. Really good counter to him. The 7 regen. Gotta shut that down.
You think this Drow has picked up in hit percentage since the
I'm over here.
Persona dropped?
Almost always, yeah. Like, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
An Arcana?
Yeah, it's an Arcana.
It's hard to tell these days. I don't know.
Arcanas have a lot more particles. Personas are just like...
bottom tower is under attack.
Unless you wait until they release a Persona later that also has cosmetics attached, like the Dark Artistry Persona.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But there, you could... Is it? Oh.
I like how I started that debate and I didn't take any part in it. I just sat on the sidelines. You guys
just
figured
love
that out.
Talking about cosmetics, Avery. We know that's why you played.
Yeah, I just wonder if there's some of these carry players, you know, pick me this Drow. They don't even think it's good, but like... Definitely not true. I sell almost everything I get and then use it for absolutely nothing. Horribly inefficient.
No clean.
Oh.
Killing spree.
Go high ground, no glyph.
Dire's middle tower.
Scotty on Terrorblade.
See the shard though? Watch out.
Watch hit the flank.
No.
They might just give this up.
Like stop pushing, give it up, or no, they're gonna go for it.
Yeah, I think you commit though. You commit. Try and get the buyback on Storm.
That enfeeble.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
The thing is, it's pretty hard to grip because they have a Blink Orchid who you can just run in an Orchid into. There's still this Carapace for when Storm respawns. It's pretty much on this Night Stalker to get some crazy good angle, but without the Storm damage, it's just way too hard. So the 21-minute racks. Brood is on track to prove that
he's very
our analysis was correct.
Very good against teams without AoE. Yeah.
Yes.
Who could have ever guessed? Got the Nether Shawl as well, so doesn't even have to buy too much magic resistance. Just gets to buy items he wants. Offense. Powerful. That item's very good, I think.
So Night Stalker has his BKB. He technically is free in the fight outside of this terribly with Scotty hitting him and destroying him. But the question of how much can he get done in that interval? And who is he even going on? It's not an easy choice.
Killing spree. Dominating, I guess.
Is under attack.
Mega kill. Double kill.
Nice fight, and that's what he ends up killing the Queen of Pain.
Yeah,
Queen of Pain jumps in, he gets a little staggered by the ulti. Good, really good Orchid usage by Storm as well. Got used to disable Quap's follow-up initiation or something like that. But yeah, Night Stalker with the armlet, with the Brigand's Blade, just did a lot of damage. Worked out.
Brigand Blade, huh?
Yeah, that's why he got the kill, obviously. Plus 70 damage towards the end there.
Adds up.
Yeah. If he didn't get that kill, though, it would have been a pretty unfortunate fight. Orchid gets used to help protect the Weaver here.
Help him dodge out some of this. No, I guess it didn't help him at all. Yeah, unlucky. It was already there from like 4 minutes ago.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gets silenced there. Then skip Manta to get a Scotty, so he did not have a solution against Orchid. That's why he dies there. Bit unfortunate getting caught, but they recognize the opportunity. Ghost Frogs gets another kill on the map.
What a weird death, though. No way. Like his Brood shoving top. Gork's just super far out mid. He knows Dire team is basically all just going to go there. If no one's showing top, they're not going to be anywhere else. Kind of a weird death. Yeah, that's why I'm not sure, but I mean, that's big objective in this game is the next Aegis. So both teams want to play for vision control. Pretty much can only do that with an NS ult.
How's fast?
Yeah.
Double kill.
Hypothermia.
Killing spree. Double kill.
But they
A dominating performance. Impossible kill. Double kill.
He's like playing Ags Live right now, watch out. Sorry, you don't get that reference, Avery, my bad.
Thank you, Burge.
Just had to... if he wants to be included, all he has to do is press find match on Ags Live. Dodging very dangerous amounts of damage with high movement speed.
Yes. Speaking of dodging, did Gork sunder his
ally? Yes.
Weaver, but he missed the Brood sunder, right?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And now he doesn't have sunder.
We're gonna see something.
Lies open.
And Roche spawned.
That was pain right there. That's what I saw.
I think he was trying to sunder his Brood in the fight. He ended up sundering Weaver.
Oh, you think he tried to sunder Brood?
Yeah.
Weaver.
And then Brood ended up dying anyway.
I don't think so. I think he did sunder the Weaver to give the Weaver HP because the Weaver was about to die.
Let's see.
He's low.
Oh, he just didn't want to sunder the Brood.
Yeah, and
then he sundered his Weaver.
Sunders Weaver because Weaver was like close to dying. Like if he gets a Remnant off, he had Remnant mana, like that's 100% a kill. So he gives him.
But then he time lapsed. Okay, that's why I was confused because he time lapsed the own sunder. So that's why they were tipping it.
Okay.
That's why I thought he had sundered somebody else. But undoing your own teammate's spells there, then Gork doesn't have sunder. He gets run down. It's a little tipping action.
Okay, so he saves his Weaver up to full HP.
But he's like,
and
no.
Weaver completely cancels that out, and now Gork dies afterwards from it. That's
Listen here, Gork, you ain't gonna look good. I'm gonna undo this highlight, you know.
Double kill.
Ah, that's such a big kill, bro.
Wooden pop.
Double kill.
So ready. That was well played by Pablo. He was so ready for Storm to try to get some vision to look for a steal. He's like, they're all dead. I know what he's going to try right now. Gets the Remnant Carapace and easy kill setup. Shard going to Quap, an item that you always buy anyways. So, and really the story of the last couple of fights is like Drow just can't get into engagement. Somebody's going to run at her, whether it's Quap, whether it's Brood, whether it's Night Stalker. Or, I'm sorry, I'm confused. Quap, maybe TB, maybe Weaver, maybe Brood.
Maybe the Night Stalker too. They could all turn on
Night Stalker could also run at him. If he gets a little dagger on him, he's like, I'm gonna deny you now. You deserve this.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's cool.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Oh, what I miss?
As you can see, I disagree.
Yeah, that was a bit of a throwy fight, to be honest. I think you just play around hitting these Raxes, force Dire Team to jump into you, where your Nyx has a way better fight. Someone isn't getting gripped under tier 4s, where your TB has to cancel the grip by right-clicking Bane down to 0 when you have double Orchids that can do it for you. You're kind of just giving the fight the Ghost Frogs that they need to get back in this game. That's like basically 3 cores going down because you lose this Aegis on this Terrorblade, which is your siege mechanism. It's a pretty big turn of events. Brood is not some hero that ultra late game is the Brood of old where she just scales into a monstrosity. There are ways to deal with the cores in this game. So, a gem on this Brood.
Night silence.
Radiant's middle tower.
Dominator, I guess.
No.
And gem.
So that's like the best sign that you really messed up is like you lose a fight and the enemy team instantly sprints mid and kills your mid tier 1 with like 3 heroes. It's like just to tell like we've been owning so hard and now we just like choked a big fight.
I mean, that's a huge gold swing. I mean, they're still down 12k,
but now they get to put wards on the map.
Now they have gem for Nyx.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna survive here. TP? The melee blink, haven't seen one in a while, but I'm happy to see it.
Remember in the old days where you could TP the base without? Can you still technically do it if it's frame perfect?
I can't remember. Yeah, nobody tries it. It must have been really hard because pros did give up on trying it in a lot of cases.
Looked cool though.
They did.
How so?
Cry some more.
Yeah, daytime, no NS ult. Pretty easy to retake the map right now. No way Dire can ever fight without NS fully online. He just does way too much for them in terms of getting in. He's probably like the highest damage in most of these fights outside of... what items he would have gone this game. I think they honestly just took two horrendous fights in terms of the positioning and the way they develop. So in theory, this game could have been over for them to a very high degree. But now this game's kind of been flipped a little bit. Drow and Ennis climbing in the net worths. How effective is Brooder Quap's net worth when they have a bunch of defensive items in these Orchids, which are now countered by BKBs and Mantas? Storm getting into his timing. Things can change very rapidly, and that's where this TB might have wished he has another Dispel for some of these silences and the Manta instead of the SNY, and maybe wish he has that that Satanic to get him back up to full HP if he wants these Sunder plays.
Killing spree. A dominating performance.
Where's the party?
He gets pulled.
Dominating, I guess. Double kill. Double kill.
Oh! Such a big... Oh... Golly. The cheese and the jam! I don't know, dude. We're gonna end it now.
Great reaction, good Sunder.
Redemption Sunder.
For him, for sure.
He's done sundering his teammates. He's like, you guys are on your own. I mean, that observer on the hill really won them the fight. They get to kill Bane twice before he gets any spells off. No sleeps, no grips. Really frees up the fight for all 3 of Radiant's cores.
Game's just over.
Might just be over.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They're getting a little scared. I mean, Bane's up in 6, but if all just committed to be over.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Can they kill him? They got him!
Radiant
It's gone.
Radiant's bottom tower.
That was a little spooky. I was kind of close there.
It was getting spicy for sure. I think Drow had the Ags after that Roche Pit fight too. That's why he started net worth catapult so much.
She had AoE at that point. It was getting kind of scary. But hey, they ended up getting that Roche fight, and it completely ended the game. They committed hard for that Roche. They didn't get in time. If they had reacted just a little bit late to that Roche fight, game looked really dire.
For sure.
For Team Bald, but they pulled the win. I didn't mean to. Yeah,